Hi everybody, my name is Katrina and you are in Katrina's Garden. Thank you all for popping in and watching this video. I appreciate you. I am a homesteader and we live in what I like to call the suburban country. We are out in the county, in the country, in the town that I'm in, and I have been here in this home for about 20 years, a little over 20 years. We decided that we were going to all come back together as a family and change the way that we are doing things. We decided to do our homestead here in place while we go on the journey of looking for a state and land and where we want to move, especially as I get closer to retirement. I would like to spend my retirement growing my own food and making life more sustainable and self-reliability for ourselves, as well as establishing some type of generational wealth within our family. I do have a gift basket business, and in my gift basket business I do have things like jellies and other items that people request, baking cakes, just a lot of things. I do classes on how to preserve food. Canning was not something I used to do, but I do canning now and have become very successful at it. You will see a video that I posted yesterday where one of my canning shelves fell. But go watch that video to find out what the outcome of that was. I will tell you that I cried for about 45 minutes, and it's okay. We are a party of 9 plus, and we also have a new addition on the way. So I am going to be a great niece. I am so excited because when I tell y'all, this is the first baby in the family for 14 years now, because our youngest is 14. That is my youngest grandson. My oldest grandson is 18. My youngest daughter is 19. My middle daughter is 32. She will be 33 in 2 weeks. And my oldest daughter is 36. My mother also lives with me, and she is 80 years old and the biggest help ever. So there's quite a few of us. I have one sister who is about to be a grandma again. Her granddaughter is the oldest grandchild, and she is 24. And she's about to have her second grandbaby. So we are super excited here. A lot of people know me as the Crafty Corner, Crafting with Katrina. And you will see crafty in just about everything I name, simply because it takes a lot of craftiness to accomplish some things, a lot of skill. So I do spend a lot of time gaining knowledge and learning skills so that we can have a successful homestead. I could go through the numbers of people that I reside with, but basically I reside with my whole family except for my oldest grandson, who lives in another city with my sister because of school. So he comes down very often. You'll see him in some of the videos. He comes down often and helps me with the garden, the yard, the mulching, everything. He is awesome. I could not ask for better grandchildren. So that is probably me in a nutshell. By profession, I am a nurse practitioner, and I work in a very busy surgical center. So with all of that being said, I am close to retirement. And like I said, we are looking for acreage and possibly another state to move to. I am in Georgia, Zone 8A. And I am planting seedlings today. So I thought I would bring you along with me and just let you get to know me a little bit. I am doing, you will see a lot of videos on cooking right now because I am doing the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge where we are eating from our pantry. So that means I'm using the pantry and the freezer foods that we have because I need to get a handle on what's in and what's not. I do a lot of food processing when I go to the farmer's market or to the meat markets just to make sure I have everything that I need. I believe in eating what you grow, and I believe in growing what you eat. So I am making attempts to have a successful garden. My first food garden was last growing season, and I didn't yield a whole lot. And there were moments that were very discouraging. But I am one of those kinds of people that I'm going to keep going and conquer and keep going because I really believe that this is where God has led us, bringing us all back together because we were all spread out doing our own lives things, and I guess you could say an epiphany all happened at the same time, especially with things that were going on in our world, and those things are just getting worse. So self-sustainability and self-reliability are extremely important, and those are the reasons that we are doing what we are doing. Part of those things are remodeling my home. So you may see a room that is not finished, and a room that the walls have been torn down at. So we're doing a lot of cleaning, a lot of painting, a lot of redoing of floors. We're building a pantry downstairs so that we have a place to store all of the canned goods. I have a deep freezer downstairs that we keep locked because it is in the garage, mostly on the outside of the house. It is inside the garage, but it is still outside of the house. But you're going to see a lot of construction going on. So it has been just a whirlwind here. This in here is part of the construction. This is my bedroom, and we've done the floors and the walls in here, and as well as a new bed and all that good stuff. We are now working on the kitchen, so we have pulled paneling off the walls, and up there in the kitchen is where my patio garden is. So I have a patio garden, which is what I had last year, and this year we have the yard finally mulched, and I have so much open space out there right now. I'm just like a kid in a candy store. So I'm loving every bit of that. Now I'm going to ask you, you guys, to hype my videos up and watch them. You know, my long videos are not getting very far. I'm getting views on my short videos, but I do want to share this journey with you, and you know, leave down in the comments things that you would like to see and anything that you see that I can improve on. So with that being said, I'm going to get into getting these plants in this seedling, and I will show you the ones that I have already done, because they're right here on this table. So let me just turn you this way. And these are the seeds that I'm going to be starting on in this cell system, but lift you up a little bit. As you can see, I have that 72 cell system already done, and then I have this system here with these lights. And then I also have a let's see, a green stalk garden seed starter kit. I have a blueberry one. It is over there in the box. And I have 2 hydroponic systems behind me that are also growing. Now I know what y'all are thinking. Didn't she just say she was in her bedroom? She is. And with all the construction going on, you're going to get in where you fit in. And this is where I had the space to do this at. So I set this table up in here. And I have stands over there for the hydroponics. I also have some potted plants over there on the floor. And I have, let me get this towel out of the way. I have blueberries, a blueberry bush that's starting, as well as a Meyer lemon tree. Those are down here on the floor underneath my table. And I do get a lot of sunshine in my room, but I also have grow lights in here for these babies. All right, now let me start with this plant right here, and I'm going to move you all over here so that you can see actually what it is I'm doing. All right, so this is another 72 seed planter, and I am going to start these plants that I have already picked out of the catalog or out of my seeds to put in there. Now this right here is the system that I created to use so that I could keep track of my seeds. Alright, so, and I just put the envelopes in there. The seeds go in the correct envelopes that have been labeled. And this is where I keep them. At the bottom I keep some tools, mini tools or small tools that I get from different places. When you order some places, they send you some of those tools and things like that. I keep my pins and my tags in here as well. So I'm just grabbing those real quick. And these are the tags that I got off Temu. I got a bunch of those tags for a very little amount of money, and I need them. But this is one of the tool kits that you get. This is from Seed Symphony. Seed Symphony is one of the places that I ordered some seeds from. And they give you these little tools to put your seeds down and start the garden with. So little scissors and tweezers, and then a little hole maker. Alright, I'm going to take all of those out except the scissors. Well, yeah, I might have to open a pack of seeds with the scissors. And I also have little mini shovels and things like that, none of which I'm going to be really needing tonight. But if I do, I have them right here. I also have some dirt and fertilizer up under here as well, under my dead table here, that I use in these mixtures. So I set this up yesterday, so my soil is nice and moist to get my seedlings started. And I thought that I would start off with my beans. And I want to get these beans in the ground, in the mix so far. Now these are 55 days to harvest, and this is just regular garden beans. We love green beans around here, especially the snap beans like this. So I wanted to get those in the ground. And then this is from Baker's Creek. This is a dragon tongue. Alright, and we're going to start that one as well. Alright, this one I like because you can eat the leaves, the stems. You can put them in salads. You can saute them, etc., etc. There's all kinds of ways to fix these beans, and y'all know we can cook now. So we gonna get them cooked and get them grown. All right, and these little seeds here, to me, you can see that they look like pinto beans. All right, now this says to plant them, let's see, 1/2 to 1 inch All right, and this has little markings on it, from 1/2 to 1 inch. All right, but these are going to, what I'm going to start the row with. All right, and I want to do 2 seeds in each. And I'm going to go down just like this. To make sure I have at least 2 seeds of these beans in each corner. Now, you can soak these beans. I hear a lot of people say when they're doing beans, they do soak them. I'm not soaking these beans. I'm not. I'm just going to tell you. All right, so I have 6 cells of these, which gives me 12 plants of the beans. And I want 14, so I'm going to do one more of the dragon tongue. Now, the reason I'm doing it this way is because I want to be able to plant all of my seeds, for 1. And 2, I want to start having some success before I start wasting a bunch of seeds. That will just make me sad. And my last garden made me very sad. Now, that's not to say I didn't get anything out of that garden, y'all, because I really did. I was able to get tomatoes and peppers, and my peppers just kept coming back and coming back until they finally died off. And right now I got collard greens on my back porch. Now, all of my other planters are empty. There's nothing in them but dirt. And I went out there, and this is one of my, it's like a green stalk, but it's not from green stalk. This is one of the Temu brands, so it's not very tall. I have 2 of those back there, and one of them has collard greens growing out of it that I discovered a few days ago. Or maybe a couple weeks ago. All right, now this bean is kind of black looking. I don't know if you can see that. All right, and this is just the regular garden bean. It's a tender green. All right, and we're going to go same thing, 2 in each pocket. I may go back and put a 3rd one in there in these pockets, just so we have those. And I also have 14 of those. 2 in each pocket. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm sorry, I have 12 of those. And I'm just gonna leave it at 12. All right, now what I like to do is once I get my seed in there, I want to put down what seed I put where. So the first thing we did were beans. All right, and this is the dragon tongue. All right, and then I'm going to take that and stick it right in here. And then my next marker will be here, because that's where my dragon tongues ends. And that way I can keep count of exactly how much of what I have planted. So this one is going to be garden beans. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, garden bean. And I'm going to put on here green, so we know that these are just green beans. Regular snap beans is what those are. And those start right there. Okay. All right, now I couldn't decide next what I was going to put there. I definitely want to get my sunflowers in But the next one that I want to get put in here is going to be my squash. No, actually I'm thinking it's going to be the okra. So I have two varieties of okra that I want to plant. One of them is the Clemson Spineless. Now I did plant these last time, and it was the Burpee brand, and they did grow. But I had only planted 2 plants, so I had 2 plants with 2 okras at the top. So I can't say that that was not a success, but I can say that it was new for me, so I didn't know when I was supposed to harvest those, or if there was more coming up, and I didn't know what to do with that one. So now we know. We're going to do better. I'm just going to take these scissors out. Now, you'll find, this is from Seed Symphony. Everything is written this way, but the opening is on the other side at the other end. And I don't like to store my seeds upside down where I can't read what it is. So for these, I just take it and I clip the corner. Just like that. And I will take this and just fold it back. Alright, and then when I get the seed, after I get the seeds out, I will just fold it back in and put it back in the file where it goes. Alright, and then I'm going to show you why I don't have to keep them out and together. I can put all my seeds away. Alright, so we're starting with the Clemson Spineless with Seed Symphony. Right, and this is 80 days to harvest, 2 inches that wants to be planted. And it doesn't tell me, let's see, germination rate is high, between 77 and 86 degrees. And then after 86 degrees, it gets a little bit hotter. The germination rate starts to go down a little bit, but it'll still germinate. So we're going to get these in. So we are right here. Those like to be 2 inches in depth. And I'm going to put 4 seeds in each one of these pods, so that we can get a better yield. I got seeds bouncing everywhere, y'all. Okay. Got that there. And one more. And I will do 12 of these plants using 4 cells. And then we will label it so that we know what we put there. And those are the Clemson Spineless okra. Alright. Which we started right here. And then we're going to do the Baker's Creek okra, and this is the burgundy. Now I do like color, so I like to have a little color in my garden. So I hope that these will sprout us out some color. I have zinnias back here. This entire pod back here is nothing but zinnias, and there is 15 cells in each one of those. So, and I have 15 zinnias that have germinated. Those seeds, I did not put 1 per pod. I put probably, I sprinkled, let's put it that way, And my plan with those is my grandson and I will be going around the garden with center blocks to make some center block beds, garden beds. And the zinnias will go in those pockets all the way around through the garden. So I'm hoping that gives us a beautiful space, because I do want the garden to look nice, even though I may sell the house and move. At least the people who buy it will have a nice garden, and we will build another one. And I'm doing the same thing with this burgundy here. I'm dropping 4 seeds in each cell. And we have 4 of those done. So let's put these back. Alright, so my okra is done. Put a tag on those. And this is okra, burgundy. Which we started right here. So that's in the first cell there. Alright, now we'll go down to go through here and push those cells down. Alright, so now we got our okra there. I also want to get my green beans, my pinto beans started. Alright, and I have back to the roots pinto beans. We eat a lot of pinto beans here. If y'all go back and watch my video of my shelf crashing, you will see a bunch of pinto beans going down to the ground. Strangely enough, most of them did not break. So I had a couple of pinto beans that did, but the rest of them did not. We do eat a lot of pinto beans. We eat refried beans. Mexican night, we eat pinto beans with smoked turkey and rice and la. So I picked up the Back to the Roots. Now I'm going to tell you why I like Back to the Roots up to this point. Because I can't really say about the growing just yet, but we are going to find out. And with Back to the Roots, they say grow one, give one. You can share a picture of your garden, and they will donate a grow kit to the school of your choice. All right, and also they give you a little fun fact. So with pinto beans, they were cultivated by early Mexicans and Peruvian civilizations over 5,000 years ago. I thought that was interesting. They also tell you collect 10 packets, email a pic and a receipt. And they give you the email address, and they will send you free seed starting supplies. All right, so I do keep my receipts when I buy Back to the Roots. So let's get our green beans, our pinto beans in there, and we can peel these open because they're not printing upside down. Now for our pinto beans, I'm going to do this whole packet. Alright, so we are starting right here with our pinto beans. With 3 in each pod. These beans are pretty big, so I'm only going to be able to get 3 of them in each pod. I was able to get 4 in that one and 3 in this one. Alright, and that was the first packet. And like I said, because we do eat a lot of pinto beans, I am going to grow both of these packets. Now, if I need to get another starter kit, I will. I don't have a problem doing that because I do want to get my plants planted. And I do want them to grow and have the best chance that they can. And this is, like I said, another bean. They say that you can soak these as well. And we're going to move these around and see if we can get 4 in each one, because I think we can. Yeah. And then we'll do 4 in that one. Alright, so that was both packets of pinto beans. I have 9 cells with 4 in them each. So that is 36 plants. Pinto beans. Alright. Going to keep the packets so we can collect our rewards. Alright, now another thing that I want to go ahead and get started are my sunflowers. Alright, I have the black oil sunflower, and this is from Seed Symphony. Right, and then I have the Baker's Creek Mongolian Giant. Alright, so we're going to get these planted because these will also be going in the center blocks that will be going around the entire garden. So for my garden, I have some raised beds. I also have, I'll be making the center block areas. I have some green stalks, actual green stalks. And then I have my mini green stalks, which are not green stalks. They are actually from, I believe those are Temu's. Yeah, because Amazon did not have those. Alright, now I got to go back and make sure I label my pinto beans. So this is what the Mongolian Giant seed looks like. It's pretty big. So I'm probably going to be able to do at least 2 per pod. Yeah, we're not going to get more than 2 per pod in there. Now the Mongolian Giant actually produces sunflower seeds. So if you like to eat them, there you go. We love them. So I am planting 12 of these plants. Now let me put a label on something because I don't want nothing getting mixed up. So we're going to do our pinto beans. Which will start right here. Alright, and then we're doing also the Mongolian Giant sunflower. I'm going to start that one right here where those seeds started. So our pinto beans are labeled, our Mongolian Giant is labeled. Alright, so that's 1/2 of the seeds seeds already planted that I'm going to be planting. Okay, the other sunflower seed that we are planting is the Seed Symphony, and this is the black oil. I'm going to just give this a clip because, you know, like I said, they print everything one way, but the opening is at the bottom, so you have to turn it over to do that. Now these seeds are a little bit smaller, so we can get more in the pod because they are much smaller. And I mean, they are way smaller, so I can probably do 5 in each pod. Yeah, we can. Definitely do 5. All right, and that's 20 of those that I'm going to plant. I think 20 is enough to start, to get us started. I don't want to overcrowd the pods too much, but I definitely would like some germination and have something to be able to transfer. All right, so we're going to put a label on that. I do not color code these labels. I just put labels on them so that I know what is what and what is where. And I also have a form that I use, and I will tell you about that in just a minute. Let me label these real quick. All right, that was the black oil. Sunflower. And that one we started up here. All right, now we got our sunflowers in. Let's see what we are going to be planting next. All right, the next ones that I'm going to do are Brussels sprouts. All right, I have the Burpee, which is the Catskill Brussels sprout, as well as the Long Island Improved. And this is from a company called Survival Garden Seeds. All right, this is a non-GMO heirloom variety. It says 10 to 14 days for germination, but these do not tell you an approximate grow time, or time to harvest, which is okay. Burpee says 85 to 110 days. All right, so I can only assume that they are around the same, but it is an assumption because they are 2 different varieties. All right, but we're going to get these in, and these are going in with right after the sunflower seeds. All right, these are smaller seeds, so we can get more than 4 in here so that we can increase our chances of germination, but I don't want to crowd them too much. So I've got about 7 in this pod, and I'm just going to spread those out. I've dropped 2 in this one so far, and I can see them because some of them are light whitish tan and the other ones are brown. And we're going to go up here and drop some in that one. Now I'm just going to do these 3 cells because this is my first time growing the Brussels sprouts. Now I love cabbage, and those of you that know that Brussels sprouts taste like baby cabbages. They're really good. But this is one of those things that I'm going to have to baby my family into. Let's get some tags out before I forget what I've already planted. Alright, so we got our sunflowers, and then we are doing the Long Island improved Brussels sprouts. And that one started here. Alright, and we did 3 sales of that, and then we did we're getting ready to do the Catskill. So I have those 3 sales of that. We're going to put our Catskill here. This is an heirloom variety. And I'll see if there's any difference in what the seeds look like. If we can get our pack open. Now, Burpee doesn't have as many in there, but the seeds do look the same. I think these are just a little bit smaller, the Catskill. And because they are smaller, I can get a few more seeds in there. So I'm only going to do 2 cells. I think that's enough. Catnip sales of seeds going everywhere. Alright, so we did 2 of those. That is done. I'm going to get my squash done too. This is Baker's Creek. And this is a golden zucchini. Alright, so for our golden zucchini, I'm just going to do 4 in each one. And I'm going to do 8 of them. And the reason, like I said, some things I'm planning more than others because some of these foods will be new. I love squash. My family is not going to talk very highly of squash right now because they've never really had a lot of dishes with squash in it. All right, I'm also doing the Baker's Creek sweet dumpling squash, okay? And I like a small squash, just in case they don't like it. And it's just me. Now, one of my children will love it because she doesn't eat beef and pork. She does eat a lot of vegetables and makes things in veggie form, like her spaghetti sauce is 100%. It looks almost like a tomato paste. A carrot paste, because of all of the vegetables that she puts in her spaghetti sauce. Alright, so I'm only going to do 2 cells with 5 plants in each of them. So I'll do 10 of the dumplings. Close that. Alright, and we'll get that labeled. Maybe. Yeah, I know I can lose a pen. Alright, so this is the zucchini. And this is the golden zucchini. That one starts right there. And then we have our baby dumpling. Squash, which starts up here. Alright, and we are almost done with this cell, y'all. I just got to go in and push those down. Now, what I'm going to do after the baby dumpling is going to be some Swiss chard. Okay? And that's because I just want some Swiss chard. Alright, and then I'm going to do this one. This was the free seed packet that I got from Baker's Creek. And this is Amaranth Pink Beauty. Alright, so I went on here and I researched this plant. And there are a lot of ways that you can cook it. And the whole plant has some value. The entire plant can be used in some way, shape, or form. As far as planting the seedlings and all that is very prolific, and the flowers on it are absolutely beautiful. You can actually make different things with the flowers as well as collect the seeds from them. All right, now this is also I think used as a grain. Alright, so it says surface sow the seeds. It needs moisture and fertility. And they don't really give you a whole lot of background. But I did write some down. Yeah, so amaranth is considered an ancient grain. Alright, and you can make bread with this. With the seeds. You have to mill, you can mill the seeds and have an amaranth type flour. It is a gluten-free, and the stems are considered somewhat sweet, so you can actually use this as a rhubarb type dish to cook with different fruits and things like that, or you can cook them as a side dish with vegetables and other things. So I definitely want to try this. It is, like I said, a free seed that I got from Baker's Creek, and one I intend to grow. And the flowers are absolutely beautiful. They are just this great big long pink, almost a fern looking type flower. And like I said, all of the seeds, you want this one to go to flower because you can still harvest the entire plant and then use your seeds to turn into an amaranth grain to make different types of bread items. You can make porridge, you can make all kinds of things. So that got me interested in this. So that is why I'm going to plant this one, as well as the Swiss chard. So I'm going to start with the amaranth. And I don't know how big these seeds are. Well, no, I do. I saw it on the video. These seeds are pretty small. They're not that big. But because amaranth sheds a lot of seeds, you're going to get a big return. You know, one of the things they recommend is when you harvest your amaranth, to do it on some type of cloth, because that's how those seeds will fall out of the flowers as you harvest it. Alright, so I'm going to do 2 cells of these. Don't ask me how many seeds are in there because like I said, these are teeny tiny seeds. Now, if you have ever planted stevia, put it in the comments and tell me how did that go for you. And I asked that question because I do have some stevia that I planted back here, and these are nowhere near small compared to stevia seeds. Stevia seeds are so small that, I mean, I literally wasn't even sure if I was able to get them in the planter, but I do believe that I did. But they were extremely tiny. And I literally have never seen seeds that small. I mean, I've never seen seeds that small. Alright, so we're going to get that label. And this is, I'm just going to say pink amaranth, because it does come in shades of other colors as well. Alright, now for our pink amaranth, we did 2 cells. That's going to go right here. That one, I'm just going to do a light sprinkle of dirt on top. Alright, and then we're going to do our Swiss chard. And that's because I like Swiss chard. And I haven't gotten any yet. Alright, so the Swiss chard seeds are pretty big. These are heirloom seeds. And they are the Burpee brand. And we're going to get those going over here. I'm going to do like 6, but I was trying to do 5 per pod, but I've got 7 in there. Now my oldest daughter loves salads, so I think that she is going to definitely appreciate the Swiss chard growing. She wanted to be able to go to my hydroponics over here and just make herself a salad. That's what she told me. Alright. Now I'm not going to go overboard with the Swiss chard, because Swiss chard is something that I actually here in zone 8A can possibly grow all year round. So we're going to do the Swiss chard. And I've got 2 of those, and probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 plants in each one. So we definitely got 14 plants of Swiss chard. And we will thin these out. I know I'm putting a lot of work on myself. And then a couple of other things that I would definitely want to get in here tonight. One of them is from Survival Garden Seeds again. This is an heirloom, and this is the rainbow blend of carrots. And these you can succession plant every 3 weeks, but we're going to plant them today to get them started. And then I may, like I said, get a couple of more of these cells and start those too. But I definitely want to get these started. And you all know carrot seeds are very small too. You breathe hard enough, you can blow these away somewhere. So I'm not going to do too many per cell, because then it's just going to be harder to thin them out. But I am going to do 3 cells of them. Alright, that's enough of those. Alright, so we got our rainbow carrots. And we're going to put a label on those. And we got 3 of those. And then I want to get this corn. Now I'm not too sure. Now you can tell me down in the comments, is it too early to start corn? Because if it is, we're going to leave the corn out. Alright, so another one that I'm also very, very psyched and excited about starting is the soya beans. Alright, and these are soybeans, but this one is called soya beans. And the reason I'm excited about this is because I would love to be able to make my own soy milk. And you can make soy milk with these soya beans. So I'm super excited about starting these because like I said, definitely want to make my own milk. Alright, and these seeds are pretty big. That's what they look like. You can see that. Alright, so let's see how many we can get in each pod. I'm looking at maybe 3 for each pod because they are pretty big. And I don't want to, like I said, I want them to be able to germinate, but I also want to be able to separate them and put them in their own space when they get big enough. Alright, so I'm doing 3 per pod. And I'm going to do 4 of these pods. So that will give me 12 soya plants. And I know somebody somewhere is going, 12. I don't know if that's enough. Well, that's where we're going to start. And as we grow and get bigger, we will expand on how many things we put out in the grass. Or out in the grass. Out in the yard, y'all, for planting. Right now, the only gardener here is me. I still work full-time. And I want to give my plants a chance to thrive. So I'm going to put soya beans there. All right, and that's going to go right here where they start at. And like I said, we got 12 plants there. And then I'm going to get these cucumbers started. All right, now I use a lot of cucumbers. Let me make sure this is the only cucumber I'm planting. Because everything I'm planting is right here. Everything I'm planting right now. And don't forget, I still have another planter over there that I have to do. And it is the, like I said, the green stalk planter. Just this one. And I have the blueberry one over there. So then they give you all this fun little diagrams and everything on what you planted where. I don't know that I'll use this, but we'll see. You can download the templates and all of that, but that is the starter kit there. I'm going to get these cucumbers started because we do use a lot of cucumbers. My kids absolutely love my canned dill pickles. I can barely keep those on my canning shelf. You know, so I make some, and I don't can maybe 2 of them. I do them in pints. Then I'll leave 2 out, give 1 to each of my daughters, or 3 out, depends on who wants one. But I'm going to do quite a few of these, simply because we do use, and then we chop them up for salads and all that good stuff too. So we do use quite a few. And these seeds are a little bit smaller. So I think that we could probably get, I got 6 in each pod. Because they are smaller. I don't want them on top of each other though. Let's see, let's move that around. There we go. Okay. So that gives me 36 cucumber plants. Alright, so we got 36 of those. Let's get them labeled. And these are Seed Symphony cucumbers. And this is the, I believe the pickling, no, this is Market More 76. Alright, so these are a little bit longer than the actual pickling ones that are a little shorter. But that's okay, I have the shorter ones too that are already planted. And the shorter ones are just called pickling cucumbers. And I believe they're in this, let's see what I got. Zucchini, Danvers. Yeah, they're in this planter right here. Alright, so Market More 76 is what we got here from Seed Symphony. And those start right there. Alright, and then we have 5 cells left. And I'm torn between, I'm going to tell you what I really want to put in there is some oregano. And that's because I have absolutely no oregano whatsoever. You know, now I could go ahead and plant the oregano, or I could buy a transplant later on and worry about the oregano then, because either way the oregano is going to grow. Now this is 80 to 90 days to harvest, but if I buy a transplant, they don't take that long, and that's harvesting at full grown. And y'all know we pick at the oregano until we get it. So I'm going to hold off on the oregano, and I'm going to do I think I'm going to do the corn. I was going to wait on that, but because corn is, I am going to wait on the corn. Corn is something that we're going to harvest probably in the summer, because it is, doesn't really say. Now this one you get short 3 to 4 foot stalks. This is the white corn. It's called Art Burrell's white corn. My mother loves white corn. And then I have the Golden X Bantam F1 from Seed Symphony. I don't know. I don't know why it has such a name that long. Alright, so because I'm so torn there, we're going to do the eggplant. Let me go ahead and get this eggplant in here. And I'm going to do all 5 of these cells with eggplant, because it is one of the things that my children eat. My grown children, especially my one that doesn't eat beef and pork. So these are very small. We got 5 cells. And 6 plants in each. That's going to give us 30 eggplants. Okay. Sit down. All right, so that concludes this cell. We got everything in there. Alright, so I'm just gonna, and I'm not gonna take you along for that ride, but I will let you see what we got going on up here. Okay. So I'm going to get these down, pushed down in the dirt or sprinkled over and get them started on their journey. And then I will plant the rest of what I am planting for my spring and summer gardens in the green stalks. I have 16 cells in the green stock there. So I will be definitely looking at what I'm going to direct sow, as well as what I'm going to start in that over there. Alright, so one of the things that I did want to share with you, this is a HWL Garden Planner 2026. Alright, and this was created by Homestead Wife Life. And she gives it to you in a free file that you just download and print off, which is what I did. Alright, and I'm using these for each one of these cell starter kits that I have. Alright, so in the 72 starter kit number 2, which is this one, I have a list of all of the things that I'm going to be planting next. And I can just go through and highlight these. But the way that this is used is what I already have, what I need to order. And I went through and put how many packs of what I had, how many days it takes to harvest, and I know that these dates are tentative, they're not in stone, but it gives me a guideline to follow. All right, and it also lets me know what I have planted or what I intend to plant, you know. And then whatever I have in this little 72 seed cell starter kit, I will just go through and highlight that this is what I have already planted in this kit. All right, now I don't need something that tells me where it's planted at, because I've labeled them. And that's just how I do that. And these are, like I said, all of the seeds that I plan on growing this year. Alright, and then right here is where you have your seed starting dates. So you can put the dates down of when you started them. Now that's very easy for me, because sale number 1 was started January the 1st. And all I did was label this one seed starter kit number 1. This is seed starter kit number 2 for the 72 cell seed starter kits. Alright, and all I have to do is put that as number 2, and I can go ahead and list those as starting today. And I just thought this was very useful, because she included the graph paper, and this will allow me to put my planters where I have them at, and which seeds I transplant into which planters. So that's what the graph paper is for. And I like this because it has helped me get very organized. Alright, so the first one that I completed, I actually didn't follow her diagram. I kind of did my own thing on this one. But as you can see, I wrote down all of the seeds that I started in the first 72 seed planter, and then I counted up all of the cells of where these seeds were at, and it came to 72. So I have 72 plants. Well, I have more than 72, but I have all cells planted in here with seeds. Alright, and I put how many cells. So I did start from the beginning and go all the way down to the end. So I do, in the first one, I have my short day, long day onions. I have leeks. I have Amish paste tomatoes. I have the Black Beauty tomatoes, Kentucky beef. I have the albino bell peppers, the habaneros, and the banana peppers. I have three varieties of broccoli, 2 varieties of cauliflower, 3 varieties of cabbage, 2 varieties of celery. I have collards in there. I have spinach in there. And that is everything that is in the first one. All right, so I'm going to do the same with this one. Now, because I've already written down all of the seeds that I was going to plant, I will just highlight in here the ones I did plant in this particular kit. But I've been using that for them just to help me stay organized. All right, so that is all I've got going on tonight, y'all. But I thank you for spending this time with me. Sorry if this video is long, but please take the time to watch it and show me some support. Because I do get a little wore out sometimes, because a homestead is no joke. It's a lot of work. And sometimes people aren't the most helpful, but they try to be. And my family is trying to be on board with all of the preservations, all of the canning, all of the saving of food. We have chickens, taking care of those chickens. And they're not laying eggs yet, so we're down there checking every day to make sure they're laying eggs, make sure they're fed, they have water, they have a safe environment. We are going to be adding quails to the mix. Don't know when, but that's not going to be too long from now. We have a dog, we have a cat, all the things. And sometimes you kind of feel like you're in it alone. So if you are starting out a homestead as well, let me know in the comments. You know, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel and help me by showing some support and sharing your wisdom with me. I would love to hear about your journey. You all be blessed and happy harvesting.